Jai Shri. So, my name is Kunal, and today I will be sharing my interview experience at Jaipur Institute of Management. The story begins with the selection procedure. First of all, they have a case analysis. Second, they have a person interview. In the case analysis, the case study was based on the Nokia company. After that, I had a person interview. I had my number 7th. After that, when I moved to the interview room, I saw two male interviewers sitting inside. I took the permission and sat on the chair. The interview began. I would name them M1 and M2. Okay. M1 looked at my application and asked to introduce myself. I began my introduction with my name, my city, my school, my college, and my hobbies. After that, M2 started and asked me why only Jaipuria Institute. So I answered him by saying that it has 14,000 plus of alumni network. Second, it has a IDP, which is Individual Development Program, and third, it has foreign student exchange programs. Okay, so he was satisfied with that answer. After that, M1 came to the academics and asked about my favorite subject in my Bachelor of Commerce. So I answered him by saying that it was fundamentals of entrepreneurship. So he again asked me, if you want to be an entrepreneur, what would be your idea of opening a business? So I answered him by saying that I have an idea, but I cannot share it with you because of some reasons. Because I think it will have to get a patent. So he was impressed by me at that point. Now M2 asked me about my score in my financial management subject, why my score was low. So I answered by saying that I prepared more on the practical side, but the paper was on theory based more. So he cross questioned that you have the same subject in your company secretary course. As I'm pursuing company secretary course, he asked me why are you having less marks than, because it has both subjects in both of your courses. So I answered him by saying that in CS it is type of objective paper and no solution is to be provided, only MCQ is to be marked in the OMR sheet. So I think he was not satisfied with the question and he moved on. Now he asked about the type of accounts. I answered him by telling that in accounts there are three types of accounts. First is GL account, nominal account, and a personal account. So he denied and said those are based on the traditional type. Tell me the modern type of accounts. So I didn't get any answer in my mind that point of time. So I said, sir, I don't know. So he answered me by saying that there is a salary account, there is expenditure account, there is lot more of accounts that can be shown. So as he again asked me, did you know this? So I said, no sir. And the interview moved on. After that, he asked me the difference between cost accounting and accounting. So I answered him briefly and he was satisfied with my answer. Now he asked me about the case study and told me to briefly explain him the case which was based on Nokia company. So I explained him the whole case and he asked me about the company Nokia and Microsoft. Then he asked me to answer the question of what was the software used by the Nokia company back long ago. So I answered him by saying it was Symbian, as I remembered it before, as I knew it would be discussed in the interview, and I got a plus point in that. Now M1 asked me to tell me about myself more to him. So I at that point of time I had the interview in my hand. So I quickly told him that I am a fitness freak and I have knowledge about diet also. So he asked me a question on that. What are the types of exercises? So I have answered him by saying that exercise is based on most of the body parts and it can be related to endurance, strength, flexibility, and much more. So he was satisfied and asked about the diet plan of a person who is in the age of 50 to 60 years of age. So I answered him by saying that it should be based on liquid and it should be proteinaceous, as the bones and muscles tend to get more weak or can be weak in the old age. So it should be, the protein should be much more, as compared to other nutritions like diet related to fats, um, and other carbohydrates, and like that. So he asked me about that, and also told me, what do you do of your knowledge you have of fitness industry? So I told him by saying that I train students in the gym, as I'm very fond of fitness, and my one student is also in Canada. I train him online. Now M2 asked me about the cost cutting and cost reduction differentiation. So I differentiated it briefly, and he was satisfied with my answer. Now they asked me if I had questions for them. So I began my first question to ask about the eligibility of the foreign exchange program. They told me the eligibility, and told rest of the thing will be told by the administration itself. So they asked me again, you have any another question? So I asked them about my interview feedback. So I got a feedback which was good, and I think they understood what I was lacking behind. They told me to study on current affairs and news, uh, read newspapers daily. During my feedback, they told me to read financial newspapers, and as well they told me that I was on the right track. Now I will sharing my tips of the interview, which will help you in the future. First is always dress formal. Second, keep a smile on your face as it reflects your personality. Third, try to keep the flow of the interview in your hand so that you know the answers. Fourth one is, don't try to answer the questions you don't know, as it reflects that you are randomly saying something. If you don't know, try to be silent and ask them or say them that I will read it after the interview, as it shows your interest towards learning. And fifth and the last point is, always have a mock interview or a practice interview at your home or wherever you want, so that you are always ready for it, as interviews tends to get harsh also. As when I entered the college, I also saw that the interviewers were grilling the candidates literally. It was because that this time the cutoff is very high. Cat also had very high percentile this time, and the cutoff was high, so the competition is tough to face the harsh interview. You should be ready for it. Guys, like, share, and subscribe, and wait for my next video. Hope you like it.